we're going to demonstrate how to do the release of an emotion, zone 2. Every once in a while, someone calls me and says, well, they're not really sure. So I'm giving you an opportunity here. You can just dial in and take a look. Basic idea is someone who has a trapped emotion, we're going to identify the emotion and release it. And it does not follow directly what we do in zone 3, zone 1, and so forth. So you come to zone 2. There's at least one emotion that needs to be released today in zone 2. Yes. Okay. And which is the emotion that is the priority right now? I normally will point to it as we go along, so the client, if they choose, can follow along. On Zoom, I'm at the point now where when a client begins working with me, I email them a copy of the 7 healing zones. So if they choose, they can follow along the path. So where's the priority today? Is it anger, fear, grief, stress, trauma? Okay. If it's a new person, you might want to go past trauma a couple more. For instance, guilt, distress, loneliness. Okay, so it's trauma then, confirmed. Okay. Then we're going to set the level of trauma. 0 to 10 is the scale. One of my practitioners reports that she had a high of 46. So don't be upset if it goes above. Yeah, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. So for this particular trauma, which pieces of client, in this case Phyllis, need to be healed? So I'm going to circle trauma using the erasable marker. Is it the self? Yes. Little ones, birth and family, soul ancestors? Yes. Attachments, spirits, entities, others and unnames. And by the way, I'm seeing a lot recently of self plus others and nothing else. Okay, so we now know there's 2 different pieces that need to be healed. What level of distress is each carrying? For the self, is it over a 10? Yes, for this particular trauma. Okay, is it over 15? No. Okay, is it at 11, 12, 13? So it's a level 13 for the self. Okay, the soul ancestors, is it also at a level 13? No. Is it above a 13? Yes. Is it 14? 15. Okay, so what we know is soul ancestors is 15 and the self is 13. Now, remember, you always start with the lowest on that list and work up, because sometimes hitting 1 or 2 of the lowest and everything else is healed. So is it safe and appropriate for Phyllis to heal on behalf of her soul ancestors? She's ready, willing, and able. Safe and appropriate for the soul ancestors to be healed through Phyllis. They're ready, willing, and able to participate now, and they're ready, willing, and able to heal now. Okay, so how are we going to do it? Now, take a look at our other demo for the 7 different kinds of processes. Is it a 4-quadrant, 2-quadrant, self-hug? A right over left self-hug, any kind of motion? No. So right over left self-hug. For how long? For 30 seconds. For 30 seconds. So right over left self-hug. And if she's new, or every so often you remind her. So when you close your eyes, you might see some images. You might have memories pop up. You might see colors. Now, the thing to remember is you don't need to re-experience anything or feel anything. You're just watching a dull movie. Or you might see black and white or nothing at all. It really doesn't matter. Your subconscious is doing whatever it takes so the brain can finally be released of this particular trauma. So go ahead, close your eyes, and I'll count in 30-second increments. Now, in this case, it's only 30 seconds, and so I'll simply do the final 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Go ahead, blow the changed energy. And then sweep it into your, because what you're doing here is you're gathering chi energy and life energy into your body. Again. Oh. Okay, let's see how we did. This release is complete for the soul ancestors. Yes. So where are we? What level? Are we at a 15 still? Nope. Over a 10, over a 5, over a 3. Is it at a 3, 2, 1, 0? Okay, so it's down to a 1. So you have them write up that the soul ancestors did a trauma release from 15 down to 1. And by the way, I do encourage you to think in terms of get yourself a watch, a digital, an analog watch with a second hand, because then when you start, you can actually mark it with your erasable marker, and when you have to stop, so you don't have to remember. It's right there. And it just erases. Okay, so the self was at a 13. Sometimes it heals, sometimes it stays the same. Is this release also still at a 13? No. Is it over a 10? Over a 5? Is it all the way down to 0? So she writes it down again. And meantime, you're erasing your notes, so you're ready for the next one. So that's the release process and how you do it. And you can do it with any of the standard processes, whatever is indicated by her subconscious.